Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Sal speaking. Today I would like to talk a little bit about books, about knowledge. I've heard somewhere somebody said the more you learn, the more you earn. And I think it's right. So I would like to share with you some things. Tonight I feel a little bit inspired. And I'll try to do something like I've never done before, which is a live poetry writing. We'll see what happens, and I will do that in English eventually, if I feel like it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it, but tonight I feel quite inspired, so why not? And also, let me try to find a way to set this in a good position because it's not easy. This position would be the best, but complicated. It can be complicated. It can be, but it doesn't have to be complicated. You know why? Because I think I found the right position here. So, I love to read books. I think we can learn lots of things from books. I recently got this book from a very special girl, and I really treasure it. I treasure it, and I'm really jealous of it. And I've been reading it. And it's quite interesting. And I think, to be honest with you, as I said before, the more you learn, the more you earn. The problem is that people today, they don't read much. They don't trust the fact that they can learn something from books. Don't make me wrong, watching movies or TV series can be also an amazing experience, but when you read something, you get strong impressions. You can use your fantasy, you can use your imagination, and your imagination will stimulate your brain, and you will actually use your brain. You'll find ways, and you will get to know the characters in a way you've never imagined before. I found it to be quite interesting. For example, when it comes to cinema, when it comes to books, books are films are made out of books oftentimes. And what I found out is that directors, they tend to change a little bit of some things related to the books. Some of the things, like from the actual story, is somewhat changed. Even characters sometimes. For example, if in the book is like a brunette woman, for example, maybe in the film, in the actual movie, you'll see a blonde girl, blonde and blue eyes, or if the character is 2 meters tall or 6 foot tall or whatever, you won't find that necessarily, and that's interesting. So before watching a movie that is made out of a book, please consider the fact of reading the book first. Use your own imagination. I had that experience with Angels and Demons, and I read the book first, and I had my own imagination. And when I watched the movie, the characters weren't the same as I imagined them to be. So that's quite curious as an experience, as an experiment. Please do that. That will make a big difference in your life. Tonight I was just looking at my books, and so I thought to grab some books and to share some of my poetries. Usually when I read a book, I tend to underline, or I will, just twist the page a little bit, like this one, for example. See how I twisted the page here? This means that there is something cool, something that I liked about this reading here, and so I'm gonna share it with you tonight. I feel like poetry. I feel somewhat inspired to share things with you, and this is one of my favorite poetries out of the book of Pablo Neruda. I don't know if you know this poet. It's like a Spanish-speaking poet, and we actually have a movie, an Italian movie. It's called Il Postino, and in this movie we have Pablo Neruda in that movie, and it's the story of this man who falls in love with this beautiful woman, this beautiful Italian woman, and he doesn't know how to write poems. And so he goes up to Pablo Neruda, he talks to him, and Pablo Neruda helps him to have success with the girl, and eventually the girl, she falls in love with him, and and that's it. And eventually, I think at the end of the movie, well, I don't want to spoil it, but that's what that's what happens. I think this is the first time I do a live and nobody is connecting, and it's fine. I will share my ideas and my thoughts anyways with you. Hello, somebody just joined. I maybe called him or her. Welcome to this live streaming. So I was thinking about, hello, Sanguine, hello. Him, okay, where are you from? Where are you from? Okay, in the meanwhile, I will start reading this poetry from Pablo Neruda. This book is like contains like lots of different poems from Pablo Neruda, and tonight I feel like sharing the importance of reading with you, and also I feel like sharing some poetries, some things that have touched me from the books I have read. Finland, sorry, chat wasn't working. Wow, hello, welcome. It's cool to have a subscriber from Finland. Wow, it must be an amazing country to see. So I will read this first in Italian, and then I will read it in Spanish. So if you know Spanish, it's a good thing. And of course, I will do my best to translate it into English, okay? So let me read this, and maybe I should put on some music. Let me see if I can do that, because I think that would make a difference. I'm still here, don't worry, I didn't disappear, I'm just still here. Let me try to find something. Mood. You know what is, I think, the best thing to do when it comes to these things? Just a little bit of good music, good inspiring music, and I like this music. Maybe it doesn't have to be too loud because you won't listen to me, but I think it's a good choice. Okay, so here we go. I am ready. Nuda sei semplice come una delle tue mani, liscia, terrestre, minima, rotonda, trasparente. Hai linee di luna, cammini di mela, nuda sei sottile come il grano nudo, nuda sei azzurra come la notte a Cuba, hai rampicanti e stelle nei tuoi capelli, nuda sei enorme e gialla come l'estate in una chiesa d'oro, nuda sei piccola come una delle tue unghie, curva, sottile, rosea, finché nasce il giorno e t'addentri nel sotterraneo del mondo. Come in una lunga galleria di vestiti e di lavori, la tua chiarezza si spegne, si veste, si sfoglia e di nuovo torna a essere una mano nuda. Now I'm gonna read the same thing in Spanish. Desnuda eres tan simple como una de tus manos, lisa, terrestre, mínima, redonda, transparente. Tiene líneas de luna, caminos de manzana. Desnuda eres delgada como el trigo desnudo. Desnuda eres azul como la noche en Cuba. Tienes enredaderas y estrellas en el pelo. Desnuda eres enorme y amarilla, como el verano en una iglesia de oro. Desnuda eres pequeña como una de tus uñas, curvas, sutil, rosada hasta que nace el día. Y te metes en el subterráneo del mundo, como en el largo túnel de trajes y trabajos. Tu claridad se apaga, se viste, se deshoja y otra vez vuelve a ser una mano desnuda. So here where it says, naked, you are simple, like one of your hands. Smooth, terrestrial, minimum, round, transparent. You have lines of moon, paths of apple. Naked, you are thin, like the hard wheat. Naked, you are light blue, like the night in Cuba. You have plants and stars in your eye, in your hair. Naked, you're enormous, gigantic, yellow, like the summer in a golden church. Naked, you're small, like one of your nails. Curved, thin, pinky, until the day breaks and you go inside the tunnel of the world, like in a long gallery, in a long tunnel of clothings and works. Your brightness goes off, turns off. It puts on the clothes. It turns the pages and again returns to be a naked hand. I really like this poem, this poetry. In the movie, like The Postman, Il Postino in Italian, you find this, and I quite like it a lot. Tonight I feel like poetry, and so I thought to share some ideas with you, some things I like about the things I read. Sanguine is saying, I think you can appreciate the sound of the language more if you don't understand it. Hello, Kriegerke. Wow, it's complicated, your nickname. Where are you from? Welcome. Yeah, it's you're right. Sometimes even when you can't understand, let me turn this a little bit down. When you can't understand the language, sometimes you can, from Frisia. Where is Frisia? Sorry, my ignorance. Hello, JT. Hello, welcome everybody. I am sharing some poetries with you from books, from things, and I'm really happy about this actually. Northern Netherlands. Oh, okay, thank you, JT. Netherlands. Okay, you're from the Netherlands. That's really cool. Kriegerke. Am I pronouncing it right or am I saying it wrong? If I say it wrong, forgive me. Okay, so you're close to Germany. So it's a coastal region near the North Sea. Wow, it must be very cold there. Fenja. Okay, you want me to call you Fenja? I'll call you Fenja. Why not? Also, this other one, this poetry I underlined. And Sanguine is saying, sadly, it's getting cold. Yeah, well, The good news about living in Sicily is that here it's really hot. I am sweating right now. I've got a fan above me spinning like crazy, and it's really hot. It's not pleasant. We're looking forward to the rain. Maybe tomorrow. I'm from Palermo. Yes, I'm from the capital of Sicily, and tomorrow we are hoping to get rain. Well, at least according to the weather forecast, according to the weather forecast, we are going to get rain, and I don't know if that is gonna be true or not. Tonight I am particularly tired, so forgive me if I mess up. But last night I didn't sleep well, and this morning I didn't get to sleep either. So I am getting tired, but I'm still here. I am alive, so it's a great thing. So this one says, abituati a vedere dietro di me l'ombra, e le tue mani escono dal rancore, trasparenti, come se nel mattino del mare fossero create. Ti dei del sale, amor mio, proporzione cristallina. L'invidia soffre, muore, finisce col mio canto. A uno agonizzano i suoi tristi capitani. Io dico amore e si popola il mondo di colombe. Ogni mia sillaba reca la primavera. Allora tu, fiorita, cuore, bene amata, sopra i miei occhi come i fogliami del cielo, stai e io t'osservo distesa sulla terra. Vedo il sole I can't read in Italian anymore. See? Vedo il sole trasmigrare grappoli al tuo volto. Guardando verso l'alto riconosco I tuoi passi. Matilde, beneamata, diadema, benvenuta. I'm gonna translate it, of course. Don't worry, I won't leave you with the Italian language alone. It says, get used of seeing behind me the shadow of your hands will come out from anger, transparent, like if a morning sea, if they will be created in the morning sea. It gave you salt, my love, a crystal proportion. Envy suffers, dies, ends with my music, with my singing. One by one, they agonize. Its sad captains. I say love, and the world, it populates itself with doves. Every itch of my words break into the spring. And so you, blooming heart, beloved, above my eyes, like leaves from heaven, are there. And I look at you and I watch you as you are laying down on the floor. I see the sun. I see your face. And as I look at you and I look above, and I can see and I recognize your steps. Matilde, that's the name. Matilde, beloved, rare and precious, welcome. That's what it says. And I really like this as well. It's a really cool poem. Are you into poems? Do you like reading? What do you think about poems? I think they're cool. Let me see if I can find something from this book. Do you know this book? This book is called Into the Wild. Have you ever read the story of this book? You know, it's really cool. Here it says, in April 1992, Chris McCandless, a young man from a well-to-do family, hitchhiked to Alaska and walked alone into the wilderness. He had given all his savings to charity, abandoned his car and possessions, burnt all the money in his wallet, and invented a new life for himself. So Sanguine is saying, never read poems that much. And JT was asking about what time is it in Netherlands, and in Berlin time it's midnight and 17 minutes. I mean, it is right now. Yes, I have a great book. Good to see you, Sal. JC, how are you? Nice to see you as well. It's 23:17 in England. Of course, they are 1 hour behind us. We are 1 hour ahead. We're not necessarily ahead of you guys. You're a great country, and I want to say hi to my subscribers from United Kingdom. You know, hello guys. Even those that will watch this video after the live streaming, I want to thank you for the support. I want to thank also my friends from United States of America, who are the majority of my subscribers. Thank you so much for being there. Second place, we have, you know, the friends from United Kingdom, and then I have friends from all over the world, people from all Europe, even from you know, Asia, from Canada, from, you know, different parts of the world. So thank you so much for your support. Let me see if I can find something for you from this book. As you know, I think it's good. You know, I think I was thinking about something tonight. You know, loneliness calls nature. Nature calls for love. That's something I truly think about tonight, you know. So loneliness calls for nature, and nature calls for love. So this is what I have been inspired with. I don't know, this is Enya, you know, I just, you know, put some Enya because I think it's a good, you know, it kind of builds up the atmosphere a little bit, and so I want you to travel with me as I read from different passages of different books I like. Let's see if I can find something, because, you know, when I read something, there are some things that kind of stuck to my head, you know, and they stay with me, and so I think what I would need right now is just to be in nature, you know. This is from White Fang, I think it's called, from Jack London and Alexander Supertramp, or in other words, Christopher McCandless wrote something about this. He said, Jack London is king. This was a graffito carved into a piece of wood discovered at the site of Chris McCandless' death. Dark spruce forest frowned on either side the frozen waterway. The trees had been stripped by a recent wind of their white covering of frost, and they seemed to lean toward each other, black and ominous, and the fading light. A vast silence reigned over the land. The land itself was a desolation, lifeless, without movement, so lone and cold that the spirit of it was not even that of sadness. There was a hint in it of laughter, but of laughter more terrible than any sadness, a laughter that was mirthless at the smile of the Sphinx, a laughter cold as the frost and partaking of the grimness of infallibility. It was a masterful and incommunicable wisdom of eternity, laughing at the futility of life and the effort of life. It was the wild, the savage, frozen-hearted Northland wild. So that kind of gave me an impression of, I can imagine myself traveling through nature, going through nature and finding myself. Loneliness calls for nature, but nature calls for love. This is something I've been inspired to say tonight, and I'll have to write it down because this is just a thought that came to my mind, and I think it's true. And yeah, thank you guys for being here with me. It's so good to have you around. Really, it improves my day so much. Sanguine is saying it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling when you are walking in a forest and ravens fly past. It's a great feeling indeed. When you are walking in the wild, and you're breathing fresh air. You are outside from the cubes of cement, of wood, talking about the houses where we live, the way how we have changed nature. We have changed this world, this beautiful world, and we have turned it into a place that will suit our human needs, but not necessarily help our spirits. Krigerke is saying, today I went out in my garden and harvested my apple trees and a ton of berries. That's really cool. How cool is that? We can all learn from you. This is something good, something that we can do. We can do it. Something possible. We should all do it. We should just take care of land and understand how it works, how it functions. We should be grateful because we get so much from nature, from the world, and yet we still complain about things, and that is not the case. Trying to find something I was looking for. There's so many good passages that I underlined in this book, but I will surely make a video later on about this. I think in the meanwhile I will probably leave now, but remember my inspiring phrase: loneliness calls for nature, but nature calls for love. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and remember, if you feel sad, you better call Sal. Good night.